Yeah. Microphone check 1 2. They try to put us in a box, right? Say you can only do one thing. But when you the boss, you do everything. Let's get it. Me Bossupgr8.
Yeah, I wake up, upload the digital architect. Respect the tech, but I demand the intellect. Multi-platform, yeah, I'm omnipresent. Every stream is a gift. Call it the present. From YouTube to the TikTok live, I'm holding court, turning passion to a sport, never selling short. I got the gamers locked in, watching the sticks move, headshots and high scores, catching the big groove. But look deeper, see the hustle in the frame. I ain't just playing the game, I'm changing the game. The algorithm can't read the heart of a giant, only the real ones subscribe. Staying compliant to the movement, the grind, the heavy elevation. Bossupgr8, broadcasting to the nation. Boss up, elevate, never gonna hesitate. They watching the screen, yeah, they watching us create. It's me, Bossupgr8. Put the name on the slate. Every click, every view, yeah, we dictate fate. From the game into the life, yeah, we get it straight. We get it straight, yeah, we get it straight. It's me, Bossupgr8, yeah, we get it straight. We get it straight, yeah, we get it straight. It's me, Bossupgr8. Switch the flow, put the controller to the side. Let's talk about life, let's talk about the ride. You see the how the viz, that's the manual for living. Fixing up the broken parts, yeah, that's what I'm giving. It ain't just mechanics, it's the mechanics of love. Relationship advice, when push comes to shove, I break it down simple so the message is clear. Streaming wisdom in your ear, making doubt disappear. I teach you how to build, how to move, how to man. Not just a content creator, I'm a digital friend. So when the chat starts rolling in the question.
Hello.
Good morning.
What's going on, everybody? You guys get a good night's sleep? Y'all ready? Let's go. What's going on? This is your boy Bossupgr8, and it's another Bossupgr8 show. And I got Christina, and I also got CW on the panel. And I think we got one more guest that's going to be joining us this morning. So where you guys tuning in from? I want to see that in the comments. We actually going to be looking at the comments. Today, we're going to be talking about dating trends in 2026 and what you should be looking out for. And yeah. First, before we even get into that topic, because this is a pop-up live, I want to talk about something fascinating that I discovered just recently. We'll talk about Amazon. Okay, Amazon. That motherfucker is a bad motherfucker. Why is it bad? Because I never use fucking Amazon. You understand that? 2026, I had never used it until 2026. Is that crazy? That's fucking diabolical to most people, right? What do you think about that?
Wait a minute. You said you never used Amazon
Never used it. Never used it.
That's the best thing on earth right now. You get your stuff same day within 24 hours, everything.
Do you understand? Like, when I found out I could buy some shit online and some shit just shows up at my door, what? I know that's diabolical to everybody in America, everybody in the world. They're like, fuck you been at, boss? I know, fuck the rock, I guess. But yeah, I mean, I can see why you can start ordering all kind of shit. Oh, you need that? Oh, yeah, sure. Let's Amazon that motherfucker right now. Yeah, it'll be here by tonight. So I went over to one of my $1 million friends. Yeah, I ain't saying I got $1 million, but $1 million friends, right? So I went over to his crib, and he invited me over for some wings or something. He said, "Man, order whatever the fuck you want, Michael. Whatever the fuck you want, just order this shit, man. And then we're just gonna chill out, man." And like, all right, cool. All right, Don. So he ordered the shit, get the wings. He says, "Michael, they don't have hot sauce or anything. Hey, butterfly girl, how you doing? How you doing? And overjoyed, how you doing?"
I hear some static, boss up.
Huh?
I hear static.
That's CW.
Oh, my bad.
This ninja. Oh my god. All right, I'm muted him. But regardless, back to the story. So Don, he orders the wings. We have no hot sauce. I'm like, Don, you know we can't eat this with no hot sauce. I said, yeah, Michael, I ordered the hot sauce and I ordered me barbecue sauce. You know, I can't eat that hot shit. I was like, okay, cool. He says, well, I was thinking to myself, I was like, am I gonna have to go to the store? He was like, no. We got it, Michael. That's why we got DoorDash. that, and they bring hot sauce to your ass.
They bring you your prescriptions. They bring you liquor now.
I didn't know they
Anything you
did all
need.
that.
Yeah, anything you need. It comes to your front door. You ain't gotta go outside, but just go open it, grab your package, and keep it moving.
So very interesting. So they can deliver everything. Interesting. And
Yeah.
since we're talking about I guess dating and how that ties into dating, I guess they might order other things too.
But that's the only thing they don't do. They don't get you a date and bring it to the front door. That's the only thing they haven't
Exactly.
mastermind yet.
Exactly.
But that's a good idea, though. You know what I'm saying?
But
Well, they had the mail order brides at one point, so they said it was. But
right. But this though, because we have to be safe in 2026, guess what they will order you? I don't
what's
know.
that?
I've never tried it, but I'm just saying. I'm guessing they probably will order you. They'll probably give you things to help protect you, and when you get into those
Okay.
intimate moments. Which brings
Okay.
us to our sponsor, Magnum. Today, I'm just bullshit. But look,
That was a
let's
good
get
one. I
into
thought
it.
you really was gonna do that advertising right there.
But, here we go though. So I know we all got different things that we studied at about and everything. So I'm gonna go into I guess how I like look into certain things, and I'm gonna share it with you guys. So Gemini, that's a bad bitch. I ain't gonna lie
Yeah,
to you.
she
She's a
is.
bad
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
So I hit this one right here. You see this visual layout? Matter of fact, I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
go full screen with Gemini. So we're gonna hit the visual layout, and this is something new to Gemini. If you didn't know, a lot of us don't know.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Well, I'm still learning her though. I'm still learning.
what is the new dating trends in 2026? We'll put that in there. Bop. So as we put that in there, we're gonna wait for her to do what she do, and she gonna tell us because we are ignorant to knowing what to look out for in dating in 2026. So we're not
Got to
worried
be
about that,
careful.
huh?
Mhm. Got to be careful in
Right.
2026.
In 2026, the dating landscape has shifted aggressively away from ambiguity and playing it cool. The overarching theme is radical intentionality. Daters are burnt out on situationships and endless swiping, moving instead toward clarity, emotional honesty, and actively involving their social circles. Here are the key dating trends and new terminology for 2026. The no games era. The most significant shift is the death of mystery. Daters, especially General Z and millennials, are prioritizing efficiency and directness over the chase. Clear coding, this is the practice of being brutally upfront about what you want. Marriage, casual, ethical non-monogamy, etc. in the very first interaction or bio. Ambiguity is considered rude.
Okay, let's just stop right there on the clear coding aspect of it, right? So, what do you think about this whole clear coding? Is that really something new, or they just put a name on it? Because I feel like it's just a new name that they're labeling it as, in my personal opinion. Because that's always been a thing, trying to be upfront about what you want and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I think this is more so happening in the first date, is what they're
Mm-hmm.
saying. It's not
Mm-hmm.
something that used to happen, on the first date. People be like, well, we're just gonna see where it goes. You know what I mean? That type of
Mm-hmm.
thing. People are not into that type of, I guess, BS right now.
Yeah.
That's what you would call it. Like, well, we just go see where it goes. You know what I mean? And just take our time and different things like that. Especially when you deal with a lot of modern women, they don't want to hear that. A lot of them. I mean, I don't know. Am I correct with saying that? They want to know kind of like where this thing is going, opposed to, hey, we'll just take our time. We'll just figure it out, that sort of thing. Am I right or am I wrong?
You're right. No, you're right. You
Yeah.
hitting on the right points.
So I don't know. I feel like that's something that has definitely been a thing already. The clear coding, if if you were to say.
Yeah, they just listed it as a name. It's like a step-by-step guide or a tool to use towards dating. So they're
Right.
just trying to make it more fancy for marketing purposes.
Cool. Cool. So let me see. What do you think about this? This dude uses anal bees. Oh my god. Who is this? Interesting cat. Who are you talking about, Billy? Anyway, we ignore Billy, man. Billy got some issues, but anyway, everybody else who's joining, we appreciate you for joining thus far. And yeah, let's go on to the next one. Status flexing, situationships, and how can I continue playing this? Let me see.
Not just flexing. Situationships are out. Labels are in. People are proudly flexing their relationship status. It is now considered cool to define the relationship, DTR, early, rather than keeping things vague to avoid appearing desperate. True casting. A reaction against curated Instagram personas.
All right, so I'll go back to status before we go into the other one. Situationships. I'll let you start on that one with your thoughts, Christina, or
Ooh,
CW.
yeah, I got it. I'm here. I'm here.
Yeah.
Situationships. That's exactly what it is. A situation. Allowing yourself to get caught up in something that is not converted into a partnership. Um, situationships are settling, allowing yourself, to get the bare minimum,
Mm-hmm.
not allowing yourself a long term of where y'all going to be. Is this going to go other than just where, I know you have a person you're in a relationship with, or I'm in a relationship and y'all just doing it just for the comfortability
Right.
or the needs that the partner that they're with are not giving them.
Right.
You know.
I don't know. Like situationships, it says are. What,
Um,
what is
I
it?
really hadn't spoken yet, but to
But
me, situationships basically really are one sided because if you notice, a lot of the reasons why they're situationships is because it's always really one person that's deeper in the situation or the relationship than the other person.
True.
They don't. They're all there. It's like one person's really not getting what they need, where the other one really kind of is, and they
Yep.
like to hold on, and they like to gaslight. They like to love
Yep.
bomb. They like to do
Yep.
all those things because it's like I'm getting what I need, even if you're not.
Yep.
And it turns into a situation where it's like it's very toxic,
Mm-hmm.
and they don't. People that are getting what they need don't ever want to clarify what the relationship really is,
Mm-hmm.
so it turns into narcissism because it's like, well, I'm getting what I need and I don't understand why we should go any further because then
Yep.
it's like, if we go further, you might not do what it is that I need you to do. So
And
with
if you don't
that,
speak on it in the beginning of it, you're never
yeah.
going to get what you want.
So
It's a crowd pleasing. Only one person is being pleased at the situation.
yeah,
yeah.
but that's not what it says that situation or status flexing is, though. It says situationships are out, labels are in. That's what status flexing is. I guess that's what it is. Not really situationships.
Yeah, they
So
changed it. Like, where's your title with this person now? So if
yeah,
you're
yeah. So they
flexing, you put a title on that person.
yeah they saying they really like people are really liking to actually put a title and a label on it opposed to just being out here without it, and that makes people feel a lot better about I guess
Mm-hmm.
themselves or whatnot,
Mm-hmm.
which is very
Mm-hmm.
interesting to me. When it comes down to it, it says flexing their relationship status. So I can see somebody wanting to flex like on Facebook and IG. Oh, look at my boo! I can't, like all that type of stuff. But then the other person probably, they might be just going, for the ride or whatever. But it says early rather than keeping things vague to avoid appearing desperate. You know what I mean? So I don't know.
I think that they're putting labels on it, but what labels are they using is the question because you're really not hearing, oh, this is my girlfriend, this is my boyfriend. You're hearing, this is my boo, this is my little shit. Those are the words they're using. So when they put labels, those are the labels they're putting. It's still a
Correct.
situation because they're not really saying, this is the person I'm really with. They're just like, this
Yeah.
is my little thing. They're using those labels.
So
Mm-hmm.
that's what they switched out to take situationship and put it with flexing. Is this a new term that they're using now in 2026?
Right.
You know.
Look at that. It's
Watch
all
out
over
for that,
TikTok.
guys.
My
Watch out
little
for
shit.
Hmm.
that. I said, watch out for that. In 2026, and
Yeah.
this you said they calling people my little shit.
Yeah, look on
I
TikTok.
ain't never heard that one.
A lot of
Like,
people are saying like, "Oh, this my little shit. This my little boo." Like for real, that's what they've been calling it.
I ain't never
On
heard
my
of it.
little phone
I
shit,
thought I
like
heard it said a couple times, and I had to just check. Like, what you mean, my little shit? What the
Oh, I
I
gotta
hell?
look at that one 'cause I ain't hear that one before. Oh my goodness.
that's what they
That's
saying.
just like you ain't know about
Look at
Amazon.
What? My little
that.
shit. Let me look it up,
Look at
guys.
that.
Yeah,
Come on, me.
please do. Ask Gemini. Let her tell us.
You know what? Yeah. Let's look it up, Gemini. So you know everything.
Ask Gemini what they been calling it.
Okay. See if she's a label. See if Gemini label.
Let's see. Let's look at the visual. What's up, butterfly again? Saying hi. Oh, I don't know. I think she already said that. But look, all right. So is saying my little shit a thing? I'm gonna put it in just like that. Let's see what it gives us. While it does that, we're gonna go back to true casting. This is the next one. It says, let's go ahead and read it.
This trend involves showing up to the first date as your unfiltered self. No best behavior, no hiding quirks. If you're a homebody who hates hiking, you say that immediately rather than pretending to be outdoorsy. 2. Emotional trends and vibe shifts. The too cool to care attitude.
Hold on. Go back there. So true cast is basically showing up, basically being what you're supposed to be anyway. That's
Being
what it
yourself.
should be from jump.
Being
Is
yourself.
yeah, being yourself, because why would you show up portraying like, oh yeah, I like hiking and shit, and you know damn well your ass ain't hiked in motherfucking 20 years.
Wait a minute. The only
20
hiking you
years.
doing is the steps, going up the
Yeah,
steps. Going down.
exactly. You're gonna be blowed the hell out, man. By the time you get motherfucking half, not even you ain't gonna get halfway. You probably might get a
Nope.
quarter way through. You know,
Yep.
I
Knees
remember,
give out and all.
man. Look, I remember I went on a date one time, right? And
Mhm.
I had a hernia at this time, and when I had this hernia, we went to like hell, we went to, I think it was like putt putt golf, wasn't that? With the putt putt golf, and we up here, you know, we doing things that, you know, different things at this one spot that we was at. You could play like basketball, like just shooting, different things like that, and you know, different little arcade games where we had went. But it was a putt putt golf part place too in it. And so I was like, you know, I think I'll be pretty decent at golfing, you know, whatnot. I had never really golfed, so I didn't know, but I could hit the damn thing and all that as far as the ball is concerned. But when it came down to bending down and getting the ball, shit, let me tell you, Shorty had to get the balls for me because I was like, hey, I didn't know, you know, but this damn hernia, I can't
Yeah.
get down.
You can't
But
be moving around because golfing, requires a lot of upper strength and lower
right,
strength body movements.
right.
So
I
if
didn't
you're
even
aching in
know.
those areas, it's not going to be a good fit for you.
I didn't even know it was that deep though until I got into
Hmm.
it. But
You were
trying to
doing
go ahead
miniature
on.
golf, right? You were doing miniature
Yeah,
golf at the time.
miniature
Yeah.
golf. It wasn't even serious. But at the
Yeah.
same time, it just goes to show, like, look, you just trying to at that time, you try to be part of it. Like, yeah, I could do fucking golf and I could do that shit. Hell yeah. You like somebody saying, oh, I could do hiking. I could do fucking hiking. Then
Yeah.
fuck around,
Hmm.
have an episode trying
It's
to do
like
that.
somebody parachuting, jumping out of a parachute. Like, hold on there. I see them.
Yeah,
I see the vision, but I don't think I can do it.
right. Skydiving.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
looks good,
right.
but to get up there, you be panicking.
Yep. Sound good. Ain't
Yeah,
gonna
everything sound good. Yeah, and then one of my best friends tried to get me to do skydiving. There's no way I could do that. I barely got through the ride at Great Adventures, that free fall years ago, and that was only 12 stories and it dropped down. Shoot, you think I'm gonna be in the air jumping out of a plane? I don't think so.
Did she go do it?
She did it. She did it. She showed me a
Damn.
video. She got a certificate for it. I said, "You bad. You is bad, Queen
Better
T."
than me. Shit, you got it. You got it, girl.
She
I ain't
did
got it
that.
with you though. I ain't got it
Yeah.
with you.
I ain't that bad. Be flying out of a plane.
Yeah. All right. So next one I think is, let me see what they say. True casting. No, I think that's what we already talked about. Okay. It's,
Attitude has been replaced by genuine enthusiasm. Yearner energy, playing hard to get, is officially dead. Yearner energy is the act of openly showing excitement and affection. If you like someone, you text them back immediately. Vulnerability is viewed as a strength, not a weakness. Cam
all right. Do you agree with this yearner energy? Playing hard to get is officially dead. Yearner energy is the act of openly showing excitement and affection. If you like someone, you text them back immediately. Vulnerability is viewed as a strength, not a weakness. Does everybody agree with that still in
Yeah.
2026?
I mean, they should.
Why?
I mean, if you like a person, you want to check in on them. You want to show interest.
Well, they talking about, the whole, you shouldn't wait. Like if you see the text, you know what I mean? You shouldn't wait. You should just go ahead and
Well,
do
if
it.
you're not available, I was about to say it. I was about to go to that part. But if you're not available, when the text come through, you get to them, you get to them.
Mhm.
You don't have to stop everything you're doing to respond back because I'm a busy person. A person can text me today, I might not get back to them till next week. It ain't intentionally.
Right,
I'm not overlooking it, but time permits for me right now. I'm doing things I can't, get back, but I will.
right,
And at the end of the day, everybody has a busy schedule nowadays, especially, if you're meeting someone for the first time, you can't rearrange your life to accommodate when you don't think this person will be the right fit. So, everybody has to understand, people time,
right.
you
Exactly.
know. And then you don't want to get into a habit of it's always texting and no calling. You can call a
Yeah.
person, it's all that is not, nowadays there's so much texting involved, that people get into a relationship of a text relationship.
Right, right.
You
And
know.
I feel like that's just um unauthentic, I guess,
Hmm.
as far as, because if you actually are in person and stuff, you ain't that type of person to be able to conversate, other than on the phone. That's
Hmm.
so it's no emotion in that. It's no connection in that.
No chemistry. No
Yeah,
chemistry. Because you don't even know what the person sound like anymore. You might have met him the first time. After that, y'all been texting and texting and texting. You forgot his voice or you forgot her voice.
exactly. And that's one of the I don't know. This is maybe some useless information, okay? But I'm gonna tell you this. Did you know that when somebody, and this is really irrelevant about the whole thing, but because you mentioned that about the voice and stuff and how important like hearing somebody's voice is, when somebody passes, that's the first thing you forget is what they sound like. Look it up. Look
Yeah.
at it. It's crazy. I did not
Yeah,
know
or
that.
unless you have a voicemail message from
Yeah,
that loved
yeah,
one, you can
yeah.
always go back to.
Right, right, right. Which I've had some voicemails from some people that have passed. You know what I mean?
Me
So I
too.
can always go back and
Yeah.
listen to it. But it's just wild. That's one of the first things that actually go. So
Yeah.
like, why wouldn't you want to have that type of voice connection? I've
Yeah.
even uh, been in situations where what I mean. I just need to have your voice inside me when we talk. You know what I mean? Because that's the
Hmm.
connection really there.
That's
Like
the
that whole
frequency
text.
between the two, the
That's what
sounds
that
coming
is.
in, and it gets to know each other. Like, 'cause you know if that person having a bad day or a good day by the sound of
Right,
their voice or the tone, if they're happy or if they're sad. That plays a lot when it comes to communication. It has to
right,
be communication.
right,
You
right.
know.
So next, let's go into it.
Chemistry, a portmanteau of chemistry and charisma. This refers to falling for someone purely based on their in-person energy or wit, even if they don't look like your usual type or have the perfect profile photos. Hot take dating, neutrality is the new ick. Daters want
All right, hold on. So this is Kim Rizzi, a portrayal of chemistry in Riz. This refers to falling for someone purely based on their energy or their in-person energy or wit, even if they don't look like your usual type or have the perfect profile pictures or photos.
I can answer that.
Okay.
Well, a person's first impression, what really tells you the type of person you can deal with. It's not always about the look because you can have someone who's witty, whose chemistry connects with yours, and they see the inner beauty.
Mm-hmm.
They see your love and your whole warmth inside. They looking at the inside of you. So the
Right.
outside, they don't even care. You
Right.
know.
And that's what I learned to do too. because I'm gonna tell you, I've been tricked quite a few times. I'm telling you, based on looks, based on somebody else's damn looks, man. Shoot, I'm trying to tell you, they be looking good, but they be dumb as hell.
And not only dumb, look, sometimes they can look beautiful, but they can be ugly inside.
True, 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 and that is really a shame. How you be so beautiful with on the outside, but then just terrible. Like you ain't got nothing good inside of you.
There's ugly
Bad
traits.
aura, just bad
Yeah,
aura
ugly
all
traits.
day.
Yeah.
But
Right.
you know what's happening, which is crazy. I think what has happened is we went through generations where people have thought their looks would get them so far, and then when
Mm-hmm.
they realize, like, okay, like now we got podcasts all over the world talking about what you should look for in a person, and a lot of people nowadays really are bypassing looks because you can hear it on podcasts all the time. I think one of the boss up, the last one you did, you remember the guy was talking about how he would still approach a bad B. And it's because people are shifting the way they think about, how they should approach relationships, approach dating, approach people who have a certain look. Because a
Mm-hmm.
lot of us have been in situations already where we got the person we thought looked good. And then you realize after dating them for a little while, it's like, oh, most of them are heavy cheaters. Most of
Mm-hmm.
them feel like, oh, they the ish. So you ain't nothing to them. They'll just go and get somebody else. But
Mm-hmm.
that's just a track record of dysfunction.
Yep.
Right.
Like what they say in the Bible, beauty is the eye of the beholder. So when you go in thinking your looks is going to get you far, your looks are going to fade. If you come with an ugly intention, you ain't gonna get far in life. So a lot of people nowadays in the new dating era are looking for compatibility, your net worth. If y'all both matching net worth wise, they sort of look at it that way, opposing to real love. um they're not looking at looks because you can be a very unattractive person, but if your network is worth or matching them, then okay, we can be as one. So
What do
they're
you mean by
changing
network? You mean like money, right?
money wise. Yeah, a lot of people are going into relationships now in the new era
Right.
on net worth. They don't
Right.
care about your looks.
Right.
Instead of looking at it for the overall of love, do you love this person, or you just with this person for this?
Right.
And even when you dating nowadays, first thing a person asks you, what you do for a living, what's your occupation, they're trying to figure out, your worth in so many ways.
Right. Right. I feel like when people are looking, especially when it comes to, I think that might be like, I want to say that could be just a woman thing, but I feel like it's a majority of a woman thing to look at that because at the end of the day, most men probably don't always do it as far as intent.
There's been a lot of men, ask women, that question,
Right.
you know, um, because a lot of them look at it, they invest in someone, and the person is only out for what they may have or what they work hard for, and they don't have anything to offer. It's like they're taking a loss.
Well, the
So
only reason why they even have that type of mindset, though, you got to think about it, is because they have been already hurt or something has happened to where they worked the two jobs, they provided, and they did all these different things, and then at the end of the day, they got the short end of the stick. That's the reason why
mhm,
those men are even acting in that type of way. But most
mhm,
men, I believe, they have not been hurt or anything like that, especially early on. They're not thinking about the work network because they ain't worried about all that. They worried about, is she, going to be able to be nurturing? Is she going to be
mhm,
able to be, affectionate and different things that I need in those senses, and also bring something to help me build with whatever we're building as far as our dream, our empower. That type
mhm,
of thing. That's what a lot of men who have not, I feel, been hurt, my opinion, because I mean, just certain things I've even seen has actually said that, statistics wise, that's
mhm,
why I think it was some type of video I had seen. I think on it was a guy named Anton. If I could actually
mhm.
find that,
You talking
that
about with that girl with all those demands, or no?
Nah. This is look. It's a lot of women out here with a lot of those
But
demands.
you, yeah, but you know what? It may be a percentage wise, but you still have women that don't look at the network of a man. They look at
What's
the
going on,
really what's
friends?
the
It's
person.
Anton Dane.
Right. Go ahead.
Oh, they're not looking at they're not coming in with that mindset. They're coming in to get to know the person because your personality, the way you present yourself is going to attract the right people or the right man or woman in your life anyway.
Right.
You have to position yourself around what you're seeking or attempting to attract, to be able to come into a conversation and y'all don't discuss net worth. Y'all don't discuss any of that. Y'all just get to know each other.
Right. Right.
So it's all about where you position yourself, how you carry yourself, and where you are approaching your success at, where you trying to be put at, as a person. So,
Yep.
you have some people that come in looking for that, but not everybody, you know, especially,
Right.
the ones that's grown in the mind.
Right. So we're going to the next one, and
Partners with strong opinions. Having a hot
this is a hot take dating. Neutrality is the new ick. Whatever
Hmm.
ick is supposed to mean. Daters
Okay.
want partners with strong opinions, having a hot take, whether on politics or pizza toppings, is seen as a sign of personality. I don't
Hmm.
want to do politics is increasingly viewed as a red flag. That's interesting.
That's stimulating the mind because when you're able to have a conversation with you and your partner and y'all can be able to talk about anything, it's a stimulation and also is get to know one another and see what a person may or may not know, and if that person know more or more knowledgeable in it, they can be able to share that knowledge with that partner. So
Right,
it's building y'all growing in the mind mentally.
right. I do agree with that, but the fact that people are saying that it's increasingly viewed as a red flag as far as the politics. Like a lot of people, I don't know. Do you consider it a red flag if they don't do politics right now?
I mean, it's not. I mean, maybe that's not what they're into, and that's fine.
Right,
And you don't have to be studied into politics to be about it. You may want to one day y'all may be watching the news together and something come on that may be interesting to both. And y'all talk about it.
right,
So it depends on the scenario, the time, the situation, but it's not a bad thing. If a
right.
person is not interested in it, so be it. So let's go to something that you are interested in. So let's get to know each other better on that.
Okay, okay. I agree with that. CW, what you think about that?
Hold up, repeat it. What was it? What was said? Because my daughter was asking me something.
About hot take dating. They just want partners with strong opinions, basically.
I don't know about that because I think it's almost like the scenario where people want the truth until you start stepping on their toes.
No. Like I'm gonna give
So,
you an example. It says having a hot take, whether on politics or pizza toppings, is seen as a sign of personality. I don't do politics is increasingly viewed as a red flag. That's what it said. That's full context.
well, that's different. I don't know how to answer that because I feel like there's nothing wrong with having a opinion or your own voice.
Hmm.
And you're saying basically that's what they want. They want people to have an opinion, have their own voice.
Yeah. They want their,
Okay, well,
personality basically, having your own mind opposed to just going with whatever I say. You know what I mean? Like I want to hear your
yeah, I mean that's true because I met I had met someone before
like
that
straight up.
yeah, I met someone before that was had that issue with their marriage because I remember this guy was supposed to be doing some shirts for me when I had did a fashion show.
Hmm.
And when I went to go meet up with him, me and him had a conversation because he was just like he was inspired by how ambitious I was, and he was talking like how he wished his wife was, which I thought was crazy because I'm like, well, that's your wife, but he was just like it just bothered him that everything he did she wanted to do, and he was like he just wanted her to just find her own thing. But you talking about, I don't know, maybe 7, 8 years ago. But I guess it's starting to really surface now that that's what people really do want. It's
Uh,
like men too. Men are starting to shift now. They're starting to go into relationships with morals and values, and it's showing up and having standards where they feel like, well, if I'm going to provide, then you should be able to have something too. Because what if something happens to me? Then what? Because a lot of men fell victim and fell for that. Where most women, a lot of women from the '90s to the early 2000s was really being put on display. Like, oh well, I gotta be a bad B, and as being a bad B, that comes with you getting my hair done, my nails done, you taking care of me. But then the man realized, okay, I get a woman like that. Then I fall off. She's on to the next guy that can continue to do that. For her. And now I'm left here just trying to rebuild the pieces of my life after I did all that for her. So a lot of things are shifting now. And when with that topic, it's like, yeah, that's true because people want to make sure now that okay, I get into this with you, I'm not extending all my resources while you sit back and you enjoy the fruits of my labor and you have nothing to bring to the table.
mhm. If this shit go bad, right? If this shit go bad,
Yeah.
the fuck, what we in? What we doing? What we doing? Can you help me? Or are you just gonna be out there and just be like, oh, yeah, next one? It's too hard. But any regard, let's go to the next one.
Hot take, whether on politics or pizza toppings, is seen as a sign of personality. I don't do politics is increasingly viewed as a red flag. 3. Dating strategy and behavior. How people find dates is changing, with a massive pivot away from relying solely on algorithms. Curveball crushing. Deliberately dating someone completely outside your usual type or checklist. It's a conscious effort to break repetitive toxic cycles.
Okay, so as far as that's concerned, like I don't know, like my thought about this is yes, curveball crushing, deliberately dating someone completely outside your usual type or checklist. It's a conscious effort to break repetitive toxic cycles. I think that's definitely something to do. And the reason why I say that it would be a good thing is because you find yourself um, being in the same, basically meeting the same person just in a different body. And that's more so going back to who you are. I venture to say, because at the end of the day, why are you keep finding people that uh, like to cheat on you? They always cheat. You always find all these damn cheaters. Something inside of you, I believe, is making that happen, whatever it may be. Why do you always find liars? Why do you always find someone that has to beat your ass? And I mean that. I mean that in the best respectful way. It's something inside you that tells that person, you know what? She like me beating her ass. I'll give you an example. I was with a chick one time, and I ain't never been abusive in any type of way. Uh, will never think about hitting a chick, right? This woman said, because we get in an argument about whatever it was. I can't even remember what it was. But she says, why don't you just hit me like he used to? Do you understand how fucking my face went like, oh my God, did she just say that? Why don't you just hit me like he used to? I felt like, what the hell did I just hear? She just told me, well, I just hit her like he used to. Like, she obviously attracted somebody that was attracted to people that did that, and she's probably still on that same type of toxic cycle, wanting men to do that to her because it's something inside her that is attracted to that. So I feel like that's a good thing to have the curveball crushing and try to actually get somebody totally different than what you would think would be your type and go that way because maybe you might end a cycle.
Mm-hmm.
Any
That's
thought?
just like another, the curveball is another word for options. Getting to explore different options than the other room setting that you've been in for a long time.
Right,
It gives you an option to, date or get to know people in different race, instead of the race that you're in. Because, skin is just a color. It's all about what the person does for you that makes you feel safe.
right.
And, that's, the curveball once again is another word for options. And if a person, put themselves in danger like that, that's a toxic lifestyle. That's something that they're used to because that's the only option they see. They're not exploring other options to see something different. So that's why a lot of women get sustained or stuck in that one option because they don't explore themselves. Oh my God, it's thundering out here. They don't explore themselves out to get something that's genuine and kind and loving and someone that's going to protect them. And then they may come up in a family household that they saw their mother being abused and beat up, and that's the type of relationship they thought was love.
Right, right. Unfortunately, for sure. Let's go to the next one. Let's see. W wants to expand upon that.
Uh-uh.
All right. The one that I actually really like was this one right here, Love Lauren.
Love luring, dating for the plot. This involves saying yes to dates or shared activities primarily for the story or the experience, rather than auditioning a life partner immediately. It brings a sense of adventure back to dating. The wingman renaissance. AI fatigue has set in. While people use AI.
All right, so this part about love, Lauren for the plot. This involves saying yes to dates or shared experience, primarily for the story or experience rather than auditioning for a life partner. Immediately, it brings the sense of adventure back. That's what it says. So I thought that was very interesting about the Love Lauren, and I actually thought it was cool. And the reason why is because you're not. I guess it's one of those things where you're not really putting a label on stuff, but you're not worried about at the end of the day where this goes. You just trying to have the experience of whatever it is that you guys are doing. You're living for that particular moment and that particular moment only. Which kind of get makes that thing interesting to me, because it's not like, oh, I'm trying to marry this person. I'm just trying to have fun. Whatever fun look like as far as, going ahead doing that, and whatever. That's what it looks like. That's what love Lauren is. It's for the experience. It could be a trash date, but guess what? I had that experience. The food was freaking horrible. That she didn't even talk the whole time. I got a story to tell. That's what it's about. With love Lauren, it's always been a thing, but I don't think they actually had names for these things that they actually are labeling it as, right?
Also, too, it can be a pros and cons to it. I agree on the way you look at it, and also love Lauren can be to lure someone into entrapment. They could love bomb them to the sense, a baby gets involved, or they can love bomb them and tell them that they're worth this amount, marry the person, and find out that person wasn't never who they said they were. Um, so it has its good benefits for the fun of it. Then it has its, cons. So,
Right,
you got to be very careful in this year of 2026 on love Lauren.
right.
Just don't look at the fun part of it, because if you get caught up and it leads to the next step, then this person may not have never been the right person for you. So a person can show you in the beginning how great things could be, and y'all just having fun with it. But then one of y'all gonna get serious.
Mm.
So
And
you
nine
gotta be
times out of
careful.
10, that's gonna be the woman.
You got
Yeah,
a valid point on that. That's why
yeah,
I said a lot of that stuff. That's how it turns into the little situationship. Because
true.
a lot of people. I've met people and I've had experiences. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
where people would make it seem like, I told the person what it was up front. They said they
Mm-hmm.
understood and they went
Mm-hmm.
along with it. But then, I mean, let's be honest. How much time can you keep spending with somebody or keep having sexual
Mm-hmm.
encounters with somebody and they don't have no feelings?
Mm-hmm.
It's a natural thing. So
Yep.
people go into it with this mindset of, well, I'll be able to do it. No, everybody can't do that.
Mm-mm. Everybody ain't
Yeah, some
strong with
people
it.
who can.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah,
Everybody
So you gotta be
can't.
very
You
careful. Yep.
exactly.
know.
Uh, let me see. So I got some slideshows that I want to show you guys that I created. Let me see, not really created, but I had to create it. So this is like new contract begins with clear coding. It says the ambitious, the ambitious. Let's see where this goes. Approach is fading. Clear coding is the practice of communicating intentions openly and directly from the start. Today's singles are prioritizing emotional clarity to reduce the stress and anxiety of modern life. I think that's pretty interesting how it breaks it down. It looks pretty cool. You guys see that? Is the visual cool?
Yeah, I say it's 64% and 60%.
Yep.
We've all got enough going on. Dating shouldn't feel like another deadline. Dating
Yeah.
should add a spark, not more stress.
Yeah.
Let me see. Will this actually play that? I wish we actually read it. Okay. All right. The goal. The goal can be the story itself. Completing clear coding is love alluring. A trend focused on dating for the experience rather than a specific outcome. This approach rejects rigid checklists and the pressure to find the one, instead, encouraging daters to collect meaningful stories and build authentic bonds without pressure. I think the only way love luring kind of like goes bad, I think, is when you start having those intimate moments and stuff. Because what love luring is supposed to be is just about experiences and stuff. But when you start
Yeah.
having the intimate part of it, that's where it gets a little tricky. That's where
Yeah.
stress gets into it because you like, damn, what we doing?
That's why I said it has its pros and cons. You know what I'm saying? So when you get to the next step of intimacy, now y'all sharing a chemistry is on another level.
Right,
And one person may not be feeling that. They may be thinking it's just fun still. But the other person like, oh yo, we getting serious. We go
right,
together. They start
right.
saying we go together. Like, come on.
Yeah, you got a whole toothbrush at my crib.
Yeah, next thing you know, you start leaving stuff there, then they staying later than normal, then they bringing over food. Yeah, come on. It's too much.
Right. You ain't staying here. What the
You
hell? Go
know,
to your
now you get invited to family functions you didn't even know about.
house. Oh, you ain't gonna have me over at Thanksgiving?
Be like, yo, my mama said, your mama said, she making a plate for you. Hold up.
Right. Wow.
Everybody know about you and them, but you don't know nothing,
Hmm.
you know.
Right. All right. Deconstructing the relationship pyramid with relationship anarchy. The shift toward explicit agreements extends beyond dating to challenge the very structure of relationship. Relationship anarchy applies anarchist principles to interpersonal connections, rejecting inherent hierarchies and external rules. Core values of relationship anarchy: autonomy. Each individual is in control of their own relationships. Anti hierarchical, I don't know how to say it, rejects the notion that romantic and sexual relationship should automatically be more important than friendships or other connections. What do you think about that? Rejects the notion that romantic or sexual relationships should automatically be more important than friendships or other connections. I feel like that's kind of like BS. Like,
Yeah, I can't agree with that. You think I'm gonna get my goods up first? Then we talk about being friends, getting to know each other
oh,
later.
it says that romantic or sexual relationships should automatically be more important than friendships.
That's what I'm saying. Why
Or,
would I put that first and I still don't know who you are? So I'm giving up the goods ahead of time. That's acceptable. So you're putting up your snacks first and not getting a full course meal of the friendship. You just saying, okay, we're gonna bypass that part and we're gonna get to know each other more on this end.
mm, wow,
Why is that important? Well, this
wow,
person ain't the one you want to be with. So you sharing out ahead of time.
right.
What you
Anti
think, C Day? I mean CW.
Um, I mean, I don't agree with that either, but I think that it's, honestly, it's crazy because it's almost like we're living in a world today where a lot of people are doing that.
Yeah,
Like
they are.
they're actually meeting a person tonight, laying down with them tonight, and then tomorrow that night everything is cool. We friends. We did that, whether it was good or not. We did that, and now it's like the next thing, on to the next thing, on to the next
One
thing. I
night
think
stands. One night
like
stands.
it's a lot of truly dysfunction going on. It's like these relationships have become very dysfunctional. Because let's be honest, nobody ever had a manual in the beginning. Nobody ever had a manual to start with on how they should really be, um, how the relationship should really be set up. Other than the Bible, it explains, what roles are. It explains what love is, but it's almost like you trying to learn how to play basketball, but you have a manual and you read it. But until you have people in your face that can actually show you what those things are and what it looks like and how it shows up in a relationship, then you're just reading the manual, but you're really not comprehending how to go about doing that. And a lot of people nowadays, we grew up in households like the things we're doing now is almost like it's a byproduct of what we were raised watching. How nowadays you still have people that are struggling trying to have those relationships where, oh, the man, he goes out, he provides, the woman stays home, takes care of the kids. Okay, that's a struggle nowadays because a lot of people turned away from that because women are like, nah, we don't like doing that no more. And then men are also like, well, we don't like doing that no more either because that ain't working for us. And then the women are like, well, that ain't working for us either. So now you got all this dysfunction where people are just like, you know what? It is what it is. I'm gonna sleep with you tonight. If I don't like you, I'm gonna sleep with somebody else. Like, and I think the reason why when we first started talking about it, you remember the AI was like, when you talking to somebody, you want to hurry up and text them back because 9 times out of 10 nowadays, hell, I don't just have you on my line. I got you, and you on my line. So if you don't text back, I'm texting the next person to see. It's almost like getting a high. I'm getting dopamine. It's a hit. You don't text me back, all right, bet. I'm on to the next one. And that's how people are really treating relationships too nowadays. Like, all
As
right,
options. They treat them as
you know what I'm
options.
saying? Yeah, all of it. Straight option.
And then they're saying which is totally disagreeable about having a romantic sexual involvement. It's too many diseases floating around. That's for one. So if you're jumping from one man to the next man to the next man to the next man, or a man, having intercourse with two or three women in one day, come on, there's too many bodies, fluids sharing around. There's too many bad spirits coming together, and it's not a good trend. So now everybody is sharing each other's spirits. It's just not functional to do that. But it's been done so many years, and in the Bible. They've been having all kind of what they call orgies. It's still the same thing. You just ain't in a crowd of people, but you still doing it.
They still
So,
got crowds of people. What are you talking about? That's why they got swingers clubs.
oh yeah, yeah, I forgot about those. Yeah, I forgot. You know about that, but you didn't know about Amazon. Okay.
Yeah, that's a okay. You gotta understand the reason why I know about that though, because I had to study all this type of stuff from a biblical standpoint. Of course, like seriously, like I don't know, like I got some videos and stuff that I done study, and also like even about relationships and everything. Like I've been doing my research and studying about a lot of different things. So yeah, I definitely seen some stuff out there, some wild stuff, and I even had experiences in having to take people to these type of places as
Hmm.
a so-called Uber driver. You would be
Hmm.
surprised how many people I had took to these different facilities. I'll just call them facilities and
Hmm.
had to drop them off. And hey, buddy, you want to come on in? Hell no. Nah. What the fuck y'all doing? Oh nah, I'm good. I'm
Okay.
so good. But y'all have a nice time though.
Hmm.
Like, especially when you find out what it is. It's like, what? What? And
Okay.
this one cat, I'll just tell you the story. This one cat, he said he had his wife and he got a problem because his ancestors had a problem. He got something wrong with him. He said he is a serial cheater. So he told her, his wife, she was like, "Why you always cheating on me? Like, I love you." Why he was like, you know what? He felt so bad about all that happening. So he like
Yeah.
go ahead and invite her to one of them clubs. So he ended up invited to the club. She was like, "Well, I don't think I could do anything, like that. But I'll watch you do it, do it, whatever, and it won't be as bad." So he was like, "All right, cool, cool, cool." So he ended up getting in there and doing this thing. He was saying he was swinging from chandelier to chandelier, having a ball in that bitch. He said, then all of a sudden he started hearing his wife scream. He said it wasn't no regular scream. It wasn't no like she was scared scream. It was the bedroom scream. He said.
Oh.
He said he went up in there and he hopped off whatever the hell he was on. And then he said he went to go looking for try to find that damn screen. He said he seen a big old dude up on it and another one in front. He was like, they were tearing that ass. He was like, hold on. It's my wife. So we got to go. We got to fucking go. He said he almost lost his wife to that shit. She was having a good ass time up in there too. He said never again. He said that pretty much ended his cheating thing that he had got over real quick after that experience. But shit,
He took her inside the lion's den.
he did. In fact, she found a motherfucking lion. Was tearing that ass up. Like I couldn't believe it.
Oh my
I was like, man,
goodness.
get no shit. You shouldn't have been doing that any damn way. Exposing your wife to different shit on
Yeah.
purpose. That was your fault, buddy.
He was wilding.
Yeah, he was wilding, and she got the wilding too. Crazy. So I beat off. But yeah, I think that's gonna be like the end of this because we got another meet we got to go to probably a little bit. But it's been a pleasure having everyone on. Any final thoughts from anybody that you want to lead the crowd with?
Be safe in 2026 in the dating world.
Because this shit is real out here. What about you, CW?
Be yourself, but also my biggest thing with people when it comes to dating and anything, know who you are. So that way you don't end up in a relationship where you're trying to become something that somebody else wants you to be. So you're left feeling empty. Like 2026, know who you are. Figure out who you are. Figure out what you want. That's all I got.
Exactly. All right, this your boy Boss Up, CW, and Christina Solo, and we will talk to you in the next one. Peace.
Bye-bye.
Boss up, yeah, we elevate. Every single day, yeah, we Bossupgr8. Boss up, yeah, we elevate. Welcome to the channel, yeah, we Bossupgr8. I'm checking the specs, I'm building the heat from the hardware vibes to the setup, completing a vision in the lab. Yeah, the vision is straight, tech king in the building. Bossupgr8. Now turn the cam on, let's see the real view. I'm reacting to the hype, keeping it 100 with you. The shock to last, we don't have to wait. Real talk, real energy. Bossupgr8. Now I'm on the sticks, yeah, I'm locked in the zone.